New Hampshire is notorious for long winters and heavy snowfalls. So what does that mean for our athletes? Spring sports, such as baseball and softball, have begun their preseason practices but are rarely able to actually practice on the fields. Despite this, there are indoor options for them to use for practice.
Down in the recreational gym on the rubber court, we have batting cages that are elevated, and so there's just a key that you plug into the wall, turn that and the cages come down, so that gives you a space to practice hitting. And then they'll use the main arena where we play basketball and volleyball games when the bleachers are in, to be able to practice defense.
But that presents some challenges. Not every team can use these facilities all the time. Teams have to learn to share.
There's a lot of juggling that happens, for us as a baseball team. I know Kara does the same thing with the softball team. We plan out our practices well in advance, so we know who's coming in at what time and what time's available for the other team.
Although being forced to play indoors may not be optimal for spring athletes, staying out of the snow may help them stay ready for the upcoming season.
It's so cold that anything we do hurts almost, so swinging a bat, hitting a ball, which is the basis of our whole sport, kind of comes with discomfort. And then obviously just being outside for long periods of time in the cold is really not fun.
Although winter weather may be a bit of an inconvenience for athletes and spectators, many power through it for the sake of the game. Abigail Vassis, KSC-TV. This is what a meeting looks like for the OWL Sign Language Club. Angelique Inchirka, a first-year KSC student, helped get the club started.
I have moments in my life where sign language counted, where it really ended up working. And so I keep trying to tell the people here in the club that it's important to learn sign language, because you never know when you're going to be face-to-face with someone who can't speak.
Today, the club is reviewing the alphabet, counting to 30, and learning key phrases. Even these small steps can make giant leaps in communicating with the deaf and hard of hearing.
Even if you only know how to say, "Hi, my name is," they'll appreciate that. And then when they go off and they start signing a mile a minute, you can say, "No, sorry." and they'll be like, "Okay." And they'll take out their phone and write it out like a text and show you what they're saying.
I personally am a person who's hard of hearing. I don't know any sign language at all. I'm not an expert, but I just thought, it was a cool thing to kind of do.
Charles sees this learning experience as a way to learn new, useful communication skills and experience a type of diversity.
Everybody knows there's plenty of people around us who are deaf or hard of hearing. Just like, there's plenty of people who have different backgrounds, different ethnic backgrounds, and so on. So I think it's all about accepting one another.
The people here are learning a new skill, a new way to communicate. And in the process, they're becoming more confident in their ability to interact with another community.
I think it's more that the hearing community, is intimidated by them or that kind of thing. And so I want to help people realize that that's okay, and that really they would love to help us learn and are enthusiastic about our effort.
The club currently meets every other Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. in Elliott Center 120, with their last meeting of the semester scheduled for April 20th. Those looking for more information about the club or future meeting times can find them on Facebook at Keene State College OSL Club. Abigail Vassis, KSC-TV.
Power is back on and Winchester is back open after a large tree fell across the road Monday. Strong winds and driving rain pushed the tree over, knocking out power to the Math and Writing Center, as well as 83rd and 85th Street, Winchester Street. Keene police and fire departments arrived and blocked off parts of Winchester Street to cars and pedestrians. The end of Blake Street was also blocked off until the tree could be safely cleared. One man who lives in the area says he was surprised how fast the crews got all this cleaned up.
We dropped off coffee and donuts to them, and we talked to them for a bit. They said that they're waiting on Eversource to just kind of tell us when if the power is off, and then they'll clean up the power. And then as soon as they're cleared with the power, they said it'll take 20 minutes to get the whole thing all cleared up.
Cleanup started at about 3:30 Monday afternoon once the power lines were secured. With help from local companies, the road was safe for pedestrians and cars by Monday evening.
5 dogs from halfway around the world have found a new home in Swansea. A local adoption group rescued these dogs from the Chinese meat trade. KSC-TV's Mackenzie Clark tells us how they got here. It will be a couple of months before the dogs are ready to go to their new forever homes. Fire departments from several towns helped put out a house fire in Fitzwilliam Sunday morning. The Sentinel reports none of the residents or their pets were harmed in the incident. Firefighters had the fire under control by 1:45 a.m. and were able to leave the scene just before 4 a.m. 2 Keene residents are being charged with endangering children after allegedly storing drugs and paraphernalia in their home. The Sentinel reports that Jonathan and Melissa Chirichiello received the misdemeanor charges Monday. The 2 also face additional felony charges for recent drug-related incidents. Jonathan Chirichiello was charged with alleged possession of crack cocaine and fentanyl with an intent to sell. Crafternoons at Keene State help students de-stress during the school week. Every Monday and Wednesday, students have an opportunity to take a break and do arts and crafts. Printmaking, knitting, Zentangle, collage, and origami are just a few of the craft projects students can do to unwind.
So the Office of Multicultural Student Support and Success is for everyone, right? One of our huge parts of our mission is to build community across campus and across identity. And right, Crafternoon isn't about any particular kind of folk, but mostly just people who want to come together and be creative.
Crafternoons are held at the Office of Multicultural Student Support on the 2nd floor of the Young Student Center. We'll show you how academic and career advising is helping students search for jobs after college. You're watching KSC-TV. KSC-TV's Carrie Kelly tells us how the Academic and Career Advising Center is helping those students with that search. Again, the ACA is located in the Elliott Center, and students can go in at any time from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And we'll see what's coming up next week. You're watching KSC-TV. Here's a look ahead at what we'll be telling you about next week on KSC-TV News. The March for Our Lives event to speak out about gun violence will be happening all over the nation this weekend. We'll show you the March in Keene. Also, find out how the Cheshire County Historical Society is making new use of an old campus building. Those stories and more are coming up next week on the show. We'll be back next week at this same time. We'll see you then, and have a good evening.